Good morning, everybody. It's good to see so many friendly faces in the room, and if any of you know me as an educator, you know the one passion I have in life is seeing fantastic teachers at work in a classroom. I left Jess last July and moved to Singapore to start work in July, and I've never worked out why I did that quite so quickly. But by the time I got into August, I was already observing teachers at work. Now, I'd worked through a decade here of trying to drive Arabic standards up and improve practice, and we've been very successful in Dubai at doing that. But walking into a classroom to see a teacher who knew she was good, but didn't know how great she was, and a lesson that had great pace, great learning, great methodology, great passion was what I saw. And the other key indicator for anybody who's doing observations is use of target language. And the use of target language in this lesson was absolutely fantastic. It was about 95% for the children. And that was the difference. And the children were 7 years old. So I sat, wrote my observation, and my head just kept going and going and going. But my primary thought at that point was, I have to get this girl back to Dubai, and I have to get her to what works, and I have to get her in front of you. So I'm getting in the way at the moment, because the most important person here is Gabby Jo Lao Shu. Welcome to Dubai, Gabby.
Thank you very much, Rob, and thank you, Dr. Abdullah, and good morning, everyone. My name is Gabriel Zhou Liang. I'm come from Shanghai, China. I've been working in international schools in Singapore since 2006. And it's been almost 10 years. It's a really good opportunity for me to stand here to share whatever I have do in my class with my students. Language learning can be tough. Chinese is regarded as the world's richest and oldest language and culture. Broad and profound, yet a very difficult language to learn. And Chinese is not alone. Arabic and Chinese falls into category 4. The most difficult language level defined by the Language Institute, which is an organization that's responsible for linguistics research and planning. Category 4, it means that it takes 88 weeks, a total number of 2,200 class hours, with the second year study in country to achieve general speaking and proficiency in reading, which means it is difficult. And Chinese and Arabic, they are difficult because when you speak, you listen, you understand, that doesn't mean you can read or write. They're totally two different systems. When I first stepped into teaching career, I taught the way I was taught. It was very traditional. And I remember my Laoshi, my teachers, they talked and talked and talked. So did I. I talked and talked and talked. And I expected that my students, they can learn from my talking. Of course, I felt frustrated, tired, as I have students, looks like that. Oh no, not more language work. That's very general reaction towards Chinese at beginning. Or they can be, keep away. That's mostly from the new beginners. They find there's no clues, there's no connections with their first language. Or hiding. And most of the time, I don't want to stereotype, but it's from the girls. Most of the time, 老师, they will give me that reaction. Last but not least, look at that. Leave me alone from the boys. It is all these pictures or the method, these pictures show that Chinese is difficult. Please put up your hand if you have students or have students like those pandas. All right, you're not alone, we're on the same boat. Over the years, my students, they are amazing. They're the great idea contributors, along with other linguist teachers. We work out a very fun, engaging, and effective way to learn Chinese or the other target language with the help of gesture-responsive teaching. Rob always said, positive attitude often determines success. Students do not learn or access knowledge effectively just by passive listening. Gesture-responsive teaching, it provides a context for them for great learning. Physical, contextual clues to the words in addition to listening effectively by students doing something, proving to be very effective. It stimulates the innate cognitive functions by interactions with the environment, the teachers, and the student at all times. It is essentially about the rules of three sensory system: seeing, listening, and doing something. And why gesture-responsive teaching works, it is because it ensures the students to have an understanding before they start to developing the skills of listening. I'm going to do an example. I will say, you have, is there anyone who knows Chinese here today? Oh, we have some teachers know Chinese, that's great. And I will say, 我喜欢吃披萨. I will repeat again. 我喜欢吃披萨. All right, who can tell me what does it mean? I love to eat pizza because it's the heart pumping I like. See, you all get it. I don't have to explain. You will work it out yourself. Next one. 我不喜欢吃披萨. Exactly. So, see, you understand it. And a few rounds later, you just associate with the sound. That's all. And you can start speaking Chinese. The next one. Gesture-responsive teaching, it provides thinking time. As teachers, we not always, but sometimes, we overlook the thinking time we provide for our students. As we have so many things to deliver, we have so many worksheets to finish or projects on, we sometimes expect instant response from our students. That actually causes a huge amount of stress on them. The first year I was in a British school, and when we talk about the topic of names, we have talked about this topic for 4 weeks or 5 weeks. And then when I asked the question, what's your name in Chinese? The boy was like a freeze. And he totally was not interested to answer my question. And I can see tears because I think he knows how to answer it. It's just I'm not patient enough. I didn't provide enough thinking time for them. Thus, gesture-responsive will give them the thinking time. I will do that without saying anything. I think you guys can start picking up Chinese. And by doing so, those gestures takes around 5 seconds. Depends how familiar your students have been in that topic. 5 seconds. And I will pause for 2 seconds. That's 7 seconds. In that 7 seconds, each of them probably think of that sentence for twice. And then I will give another 5 to 10 seconds for pair work or group work. So in that 20 seconds, they at least practice that sentence for at least 3 times. I'm not saying anything. They're all doing their own work. to achieve the maximum use of the target language. And it will boost their confidence because everyone wants to be ready. Everyone I can do it. It's not I cannot. I want to be fluent in Chinese. I want to be good at anything. But give us time, especially for the younger ones. They need time, and we need to be patient. How? Just through responsive teaching. It combines information skills through the use of visual, auditory, and a kinesthetic system. Our learners' focus span is no longer than 7 minutes, I think, 7 minutes or 5. The younger, the less. So every single 5 seconds, we will change to the next activity. We'll move on to the next work. And just responsive teaching helps them to focus. They're using bodies along with their brain, learn together. Just responsive teaching is very fun, engaging, and effective. It stimulates confidence in using the target language. It retains high percentage of language item we taught in each class, and also it provides opportunities for a lot of individual, pair, and group work all the time in class. How are the gestures created? Can you please talk to the person who's sitting next to you? 10 seconds. How do you think it can be created? Are there many ways, or one way, or 10 seconds, please?好了吗？好了吗？谢谢。Okay. The general rule, the first principle is the teacher and the students create together. Based on the Hanzi, the word highlighting the word Hanzi, which means the Chinese written form. You will see it later. So those Hanzi looks like a picture. They base on the picture and the sound. They create the gestures themselves. At first, the teachers will initiate all these gestures. And we do find that the way we look at those words and the way they look at those words are totally different. By looking at the gestures they create, it helps me to understand how they look at Chinese, how they think of Chinese, why Chinese looks that to them, and how they learn it, rather than the way I learn. First, sign language. It can be any sign language because we have different sign language systems all over the world. And the sign language is very effective because it's fixed. However, we do not want to stereotype their thinking. One of the teachers asked the question, why can't you just introduce the Chinese sign language into the teaching system? It works to a certain extent, but it doesn't work for most of the children. So we want to employ more different ways to create gestures. The first one, sign language. We use Chinese numbers. Left hand, please. Right hand, or left hand, please. Okay, numbers in Chinese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Making a phone call. 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like a letter C. 10. Okay, 再来 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 10 qi and 9 are very difficult to pronounce because it doesn't exist in English pronunciation. So gestures will help them. The one of the boys said, it looks like a little mouse nibbling something, nibbling the cheese. That's good. C-H-E-E, chi. Cheese without S-E is chi in Chinese. Let's say qi, 9, 9. Yes, thank you. All these numbers, we use it consistently through topics like age, dates, birthdays, currency when you go out for bargaining. So all these are consistent in whatever related to numbers. The next one will be the meaning of the words. I'm going to show you some Chinese Hanzi. That's Chinese Hanzi. Those are the pinyin phonetics, which I won't show in my lesson. We do not show the phonetic systems because as human beings, we would rather make it life easy. We look at something we are familiar, and we just carry on. We take out all the pinyin, so which means they don't see that. That's a pronunciation. And then these are the real Chinese words. As you can tell, it's different. When you speak, it's this. When you write, it's this. All right, and this word shan, which means mountain. Now it's your time to create a gesture for shan. 10 seconds, please. Talk to the person sitting next to you. Shan is mountain. No, okay. Well done. All right. I've seen some of you were doing this. Mountain, usually that's a mountain. Some of the children prefer shan because it looks like shan itself. So we are going to make a decision. Do you prefer shan to be this way or shan to be that way? Let's put up your hand if you agree with shan. All right? Or you prefer shan. Oh, it's half-half. But we will always agree. That's another important rule is 80%. As long as 80% agree with one gesture, we stick to that. And the students will say, 老师, that's not fair. I think my ideas are better. Well, they do. I say, okay, don't worry. We'll go to the next one. All right, the next one is 水. 水. 水 is water. Water. All right, your turn. 10 seconds again. 水. There's 水. Really? 水. Yep. 水. 水. Yep. 水. 水. There's another way. Creative 水. See? The different ways. Oh, tap water. 水. All right? 水. Okay, yeah, 水. Oh, 水. I saw 水. Drinking. See, we have different ideas. That's brilliant. And just by brainstorming that 10 seconds, they're learning it. And you don't have to explain it. All right. Which one would you prefer? 水 or 水 or 水? All right, let's vote. First one. 水. All right. Second one. 水. And 水. 水. Tap water. So we are going to do 水 this way. Everyone, let's do it. 水. 水, 水, 水. 水, it also means pretty. So it's cursed. 水. I think that's better. The next one is visual prompts. There's some ideas or the words, they are abstract, which means it's really hard to think of gestures. One of the topics we did this term was, last term, sorry, countries. Countries. And my student asked me, Lars, that's really tricky, how to do the gesture for countries. And then one of them say, why don't we choose some pictures from that country? And that picture represents that country, and we will, just based on that, we create gestures. Brilliant. And one of them said, the first country was Singapore. Exactly. It's a Malayan. The Malayan, yeah, the kids was, they will do that, Malayan. And the tree leaves are falling. Which country? Exactly, Canada. That's we say Canada. I created a new one yesterday. Dubai. What's that? Yes, exactly. So we provide pictures, and then they can come up ideas related to that country, and we agree upon that, and we play games, use that. The next one will be the chosen characteristics of the words. That is related to Chinese Hanzi as well. The pronunciation, the top one, Mei, which means younger sister. Jie, which means older sister. And they all have the lady radical here. The lady radical. It's not irrelevant. They are irrelevant. This indicates these are females. All right, now 20 seconds. Talk to the person next to you. When you look at this character, what kind of gestures pop into your mind? And then the next one. 10 seconds, please. Mei is the younger sister. Jie is the older sister. Well done. Hào了吗？谢谢。Can I please hear from the audience? What does Mei? When you look at this character, you have never done Chinese. What does this character looks like to you? Yes. A dress. Well done. A dress. Anything else? Yes. The plaits. Yes. Good. Great. Anything else? Long hair. Yeah, why not? Long hair, because Mei is young, always with long hair. Pretty. Sorry? Dancing. Yeah. My year 1 student, they think these 2 bits, that these 2 strokes, we call it strokes. It looks like a pretty dress. It looks like a pretty dress. And 6 and 7 years old girls, they want to look pretty all the time. So they do Mei. Why they cross their legs? Do you know why they cross their legs? Exactly, because of that. It's a ballerina, Mei. So they see things different. We might think, there's something else, but they will do Mei. And then they remember it forever. The next one, 姐姐, older sister. Any ideas? Sorry? Yeah, door, but yes? Yes? Sorry? Discipline. Oh, older sister, discipline. This is something very new. Okay, I'm going to go back and tell them. A ladder. Yep, a letter. My students said, when we were talking about these gestures, they said that I have a sister. She wants to be pretty, and she has a lot of drawers to keep her cosmetics, jewelries, clothes, and that's a drawer. And she has plenty of them in her bedroom. 老师, can we do that? 姐姐, open the drawers. Okay, she wants to be pretty. I say, fine. And when she shared the story, the other children agreed, even including my mom. Yes, we know that. So it doesn't matter as long as the whole class agrees that gestures. And we will use that. So let's do 妹妹, 姐姐, 姐姐. All right. The next one is employing more than one method. It is combining a lot of sign language, the character of the words, and others. For example, when we talk about food, it will be brilliant if we just show the picture of food. It makes things straightforward, of course. However, when we play games, it's really tricky to show pictures here and there, and you will be very busy, and that defeats the purpose. So we still create gestures like holding something this way, and you're biting. That is 汉堡包. Yes. 汉堡包. So you're combining, one is holding it and you're biting it to make sure it's big. So 汉堡包. And then the one is, we have learned it a while ago. That is, you're holding a pizza, take one slice away, that's pizza. Pizza. Simple as that. Last but not least, linking the language to the immediate environment. Sometimes we're stuck at a certain point, and we want to move on, yet it's difficult. But all these lovely children will give you solutions. We're stuck on two gestures. First one is he. The second one is she, the pronouns. He and she. They both pronounce ta in Chinese. They say ta, ta. How can you tell the difference? By the character, yes, they look slightly different. The girl star has a female form, and the male star has a standing person. That's a difference. And a ta. Can you think of any gestures? 5 seconds. I think you're pretty good at it. He and she. You're good? Someone is... Dr. Abdullah? Rob? Yes? Okay. The teacher at the back, they say, ta is a he, straight. Ta is a girl. Isn't that good? Yes, that's good. So it will help you to remember, rotate. Ta, ta. That's a good way. Really, that's really creative. I will go back and tell my students. And my year one, the boy said, as a he, I'm a he said, I always like to do my hair that way because they have shorter hair, and they will do this to show that they're handsome. And he said, my sister has very long hair, and she always touches her hair this way. Oh, this was lovely. So, 老师, can we come up with just like ta and ta? That's their way of thinking. Ta and ta. It's different from adults. Ta, ta. Last but not least, whatever you're doing in a class, we keep the content purposeful and meaningful. We are simplify the language, but not the content. That's very important. We are simplifying the language, not the content. Okay, let's take a look what we do in our class. They can conduct lessons themselves. They talk to their partners with the help of gestures. They can read the Chinese books only showing the Hanzi. We're playing games. The boy is doing self-introduction of his family, age, zodiac, and we of course use technology. And they're sharing their stories, brainstorming the gestures. And eventually we will still go to writing. All right. Any questions so far? Yes?
In Arabic, we have, it's a bit different than any other language, is that the letter comes in different forms in the beginning, middle, and end. And there's another thing that we have lots of dots. That's the most confusing part of the...
Before I came, I tried a YouTube link, and I have a wonderful Arabic teacher. I'm not sure whether she's here or not. It's Alia. I started pick up Arabic before I came, and I look on YouTube. You have the alphabetics, O, A, Yemai, Ba, Bu, Be, Fe, Su, Si, and De, Su, Si, I think. I'm not sure whether my pronunciation is good, but it looked like it is not as complicated as Chinese, because we do the characters with strokes, but Arabic still combined with the 28 consonant letters. If we can develop the gesture for those words and add up the dots, we can find a way how to figure out the dots. And then it applies to any language, French, Latin, anything. And as long as you have alphabetics, it will be much easier than just Chinese Hanzi or Korean or Japanese. It will be much easier. Thank you. We can talk about that later. The key findings of gesture responsive teaching is it is very important to agree on one gesture within the class. As I demonstrated a while ago, you have to agree. Otherwise, student A will say, do my gestures. Student B will do another one. Then there will be a chaos in class. As a teacher, you are the final judge. You say, yes, let's do it. But based on the 80% of students agree on that. Make gestures clear, easy, and comfortable to use. I strongly suggest to do hand gestures rather than the whole body movement, because when we move around doing group activities with 20 or 24 of them in class, they might get bumped into each other. You know, children get excited easily. We still want to ensure a very safe, inclusive learning environment. Repeat, remember. Repetition, just use everything. We can use gestures in all learning activities in our class. Games, reading, speaking, writing. We even do writing when we can use gestures to help writing when at the initial stage, when they start to draw they call it draw the pictures. The nurturing of curiosity and active participation of our young students through a thinking curriculum, where the focus of triggering their sincere, true interest for language and culture far outweighed the mere focus for academic results. I think it's all our work. We promote language, we promote learning, happy learning. Do what you love and then love what you do. Shukran.
I was educated in a way very traditional. Textbooks, and no games allowed, but we do reading, heaps of writing, and no matter how good you are, the teacher will say, not good enough. So at a very young age, I told myself, if I were the teacher, I would definitely not say the same thing, do the same thing to my students. When I stepped into the teaching career, I thought, wow, teaching can be so fun and engaging. We can use games, we can use technology, we can use thinking maps. We don't even need the textbooks. So, learning is about every single second that is happening around you. And that's the way I think what is education. Language learning should be fun. It's because language itself is very natural. It's not about language itself, but about culture, about people, about values. So, learning language, there are a lot of things behind it that makes learning language very challenging, yet very, very interesting and fun. We have new students each term. When they step in, some of them they have a previous background, but some of them they have zero, which means Chinese is totally an alien stuff for them. Gesture responding teaching is a way to open a door for them. It's not that intimidating by just doing characters. That's too much for them. So we use gestures and to extend the listening comprehension. So with peers around, we're all doing funny gestures, so they will feel much safe, relaxed. Chinese is not difficult. And when they're ready, they have the passion. They want to join us. In order to make an effective language lesson, age and language level must be appropriate. It should build on their previous learning, making connection. And an effective lesson has a measurable learning outcome with shared success criteria. And it fits language skills that it aims to reinforce. Also, it has to serve the students with different learning styles, namely visual, auditory, kinesthetic, sensory system. The teachers are encouraged to maximize the target language, offering them opportunities for group, peers, and whole class collaborative learning. Because I think learning is a very happy journey.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
Are you creating new signs with each class that comes through?
We will talk whenever we start a new topic. We will discuss with the staff first. All the staff we sit down, discuss roughly what is going to be the gestures. However, we will not finalize it until the first week of that topic. This because students will come up with brilliant ideas. And then we finalize it at across the year level. We're using the same gestures.
Okay, a bit biased here because I'm somebody who loves drama. I love watching it and partaking in it. So do you use role play very much once the children have got a certain level of language?
Yeah.
Do you put them in situations where they have to act out scenarios?
Yeah, we do. So we will give them the task. They can pair up in groups or in a small group of 3 to 4 or 2, and they were just pretending they bump into each other, say hello, and ask names, age, zodiac, Chinese zodiacs, or they buying food and asking about their holidays. Yeah, they still use gestures, but slowly it will drop. It won't be that popular with year 3 above, because start from year 3 above, they find gestures a bit silly. They will find that way, but the younger children will love it. However, after the age of 8 or 9, we will do another way, as what I show you a while ago by just doing the Chinese Hanzi form. They create their own story. They created their own story. We record it. There is a data, how they think of the characters. And then we introduce typing. We do typing first before we move on to writing. And all the writing that you see from the video, they are year 4 and above. Year 4 and above. We start typing at year 3, 4, and then series into writing at 4 and 5. Sorry?
In FS1, FS2, and year 1, year 2, there's no writing. That's starting from year 3.
We still do writing, but we are not stressed too much into that because, first of all, their motor skill is not ready. And when they look at Chinese Hanzi in year 1, year 2, they're always mirror image. Always mirror image. We do not stress that much, oh, you have to write that correctly. No. We just let them go. Encourage them, go. You can do whatever, be creative. Anyway, Chinese Hanzi is a pictographic. Yeah, it improves. You don't have to teach the stroke orders. They just get it. Yeah, they can just get it and do that perfectly. As what you see in the video, that was one girl. She joined us, I think 1 year, and then she can start doing that. But before we introducing writing, we have to be very careful. We introduce typing first. Typing. No, typing, ICT, yeah. We call out the Chinese font, they type, they get to know the words very well by heart. They can visualize the character, it's like a picture. And then when they start writing, it will be much easier. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Gabi, for this interesting session. She deserves a round of applause.